So yeah, so I'm going to touch upon a lot of different topics today. They're going to be mostly related to these three different categories. A little bit of the background to our success of Wish, like how we were able to capture the fun high street experience of shopping. And then we're going to talk about, our roots in value shopping, and also how we're using that market segment to expand into the mid-tier market of branded goods. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about what we are doing in order to revolutionize brick and mortar retail. So how we are helping local offline business leverage big data in order to have a more relevant offering to their local communities. So, but before all that, I'm going to just quickly go into the background or a quick introduction of Wish, because I think there's a lot of misconception out there about Wish and what we are and all of that. And when I meet people, oftentimes they cannot believe that we're not a Chinese company, for example. So the thing we are is that we're an American company that's been around for a while. We actually started selling online in 2013. The roots of the company has been in Silicon Valley. It's been founded in San Francisco, and it's a platform. We connect buyers from all over the world with the merchants from all over the world. And naturally, if you've used our app, you see that there are a lot of Chinese merchants that they're selling a lot on our app. So yeah, so far we have 500,000 merchants on the platform. We have about 100 million monthly active users globally. Every day, about 2 million plus products are sold worldwide, and we have about 150 million products for sale on the platform. And for the last 3 years, we've been the #1 shopping app in the world. So a few user stats. We have users in over 100 markets. About over 50% are on Android, 60-40 female-male split. 60% of our users are under the age of 30. 90% of our transaction comes from mobile. So only about 10% comes from our desktop. And the average time spent on the app by our users for the daily active users about 10 minutes. So quick origin story of Wish. We pride ourselves in being very data driven. So I think a lot of companies are formed with a very clear sort of a very clear vision of what the founders want the company to be and where they want to fit into the market. With Wish, everything happened kind of gradually by just discovering data and seeing what makes sense. So our founder, Peter Szulczewski, he worked at Google on predictive models before he went off on his own to start a company called Context Logic. He built a recommendation engine there to help advertisers across the world better target users. And then he was playing around with this recommendation engine. He tried out something. He set up a website called wishwall.me. There he allowed people to create wish lists. So you could set up your 10 favorite products for this Christmas, and then share with your friends and family. And we would apply that recommendation engine to those items people would put in their wish list, and based on that, show them other products that they might be interested in. And the site became quite popular. It's about 200,000 users pretty quick. And then from a conversation that Peter had with one of our investors, they figured, hey, we have all these people, we know what they want and what they're interested in. It makes sense to try to connect them with sellers and create an e-commerce platform. And that's how essentially Wish came to be. And the crux of what that shopping experience turned out to be is, this first topic that I said I would touch upon, and that is, how do you make sure that you can capture the fun aspects of shopping? So what was really good for us was that there was no legacy product for us to try to cram into a small mobile screen. We were able to start from scratch and basically find, we want to be mobile. How do we do this in the best way possible? So there are a couple of things there. I think one important aspect is the bandwidth limitations between human and machine that becomes more severe when you use a phone versus a laptop. You guys probably know of Elon Musk. He wants to build this neural link because he wants to increase the bandwidth between the human brain and technology. And when you're using a desktop, you have 10 fingers, your input and your output. It's fairly quick, but then when you reduce it to a small screen on a phone, you reduce to gesturing, like swiping, typing with 2 thumbs. So it's very limiting. So you have to rethink everything. So this is why we came up with this flow, this feed of just having just an endless feed essentially of products being available on the app. And you can scroll through, you can click on things, and the more you use the app, the more we get to know the user and the more relevant recommendations we can come up with. And that sets the stage for the fun aspect of shopping. So we like to say there are 2 types of shopping. There's your day-to-day necessity shopping, and then there's your fun shopping. And the day-to-day is when you go to the grocery store and you already know what you need to get, so you just go there. It's a transaction. You pick up the stuff, put it in a basket, you go home. Whereas when you go shopping on a Saturday in your local high street, it's a much more inspirational experience. You go and you look at what's in the storefront window of one shop, and you go into one store and you look at all these different products, and you discover. It's a huge discovery experience, and that's what's exciting about it. You never know what you'll find, and you'll be inspired to take your next step in your purchasing journey. And that's what we've harvested. That's what we've launched basically really well with this app. So another aspect of this being having such like a natural fun experience and being on mobile is that we really attracted a lot of Gen Z, younger millennials, and they also expect to have an endless stream of options. When they are on Netflix, they want to just scroll through stuff. They want to be able to scroll through Instagram, scroll through the whole catalog of Spotify. They want to have endless selection, and that's what we can provide. So that's one big aspect of the success of Wish, is creating this user experience. And I think the second big background to why we grew so big is, again, it goes to us always being cognizant of data and looking into the data and seeing what the data can tell us. And I think for us for those of you watching at home and while speaking at this event today, we're very involved in what we do, and we're very we try to create things. Oftentimes we try to create things that we ourselves are very interested in, and that leaves us with the ability to make really cool things, but it leaves us with a huge bias in our heads on what actually the market wants. And our CEO, he always brings up this fact here, 40% of Americans do not have enough savings to cover a $400 emergency. So that's something that the US federal government, they do this annual economic status report, and that's the fact he pulls from there. And it tells you a lot about how different market segments are and how people live their lives across the US and also across Europe, right? I think I pulled some numbers from ING, and 30% of Europeans have no savings. And I think out of those people that have savings, I think it was like 36% have less than like 500 euros, something like that. So there are big differences in the markets. And I think this more of divide and focus on value is something that's grown quite a lot. So we've used this segment to provide very affordable goods at very, very good prices to market segments that are more price sensitive. And we've used that base and expanded upon that into selling more brands on our platform. And this is why we've seen in the last year, we've seen I mean, for multiple reasons, really, but we've seen an explosion in the amount of US and EU merchants selling on Wish. Historically, it's been mostly Chinese merchants. But, with COVID, this craze in e-commerce is completely taking off and competition increasing, logistics being more challenging to certain parts of the world. It's, selling on Amazon, for example, it's getting harder and harder because there's just so much competition. And I think even in Europe, Amazon, I think about 50% of their volumes come from their own products. So they're also competing with you. And then when you look at your ROAS for your Facebook ads, your Google ads, a lot of brands and merchants are hungry for new channels in order to explore and to sell through. And I think a lot of European and American merchants have found this through Wish in the last year, and it's been pretty exciting for us. So we've also done more work in order to promote these brands on our platform. We have a specific tab for the brands. We've done a lot in terms of setting up brand verification processes. So now we sell Adidas products, Nike, Lenovo, Disney, Skull Candy, even L'Oreal products. I think even in the US, some our top sellers are Apple products. And again, we provide a lot of entertainment value for the consumer. So it's good prices, and we bring them into the app through seasonal sales. We have, group buying discounts. You have limited quantity deals. We offer all these rewards and mini games. They're all fun and engaging. That makes sure that the user is in the app and has time to discover new things that they can potentially purchase. And then we have another product we've launched inside of Wish that's called Product Boost. So it's essentially our own advertising solution. So I mean, there's no secret that Amazon grew large early on because they were one of the first companies to take Google Ads seriously, and they could get so many impressions for so cheap. And that's essentially what this product boost is right now, and that's why we're getting so many more European and American sellers on the platform. Then, of course, we have, so you have probably seen our Facebook ads at one point or another. We are one of the biggest advertisers in the world when it comes to Facebook ads, and we always focus on products in our ads. And when European and American merchants upload their products to Wish, they become a part of our advertising catalog and can get free impressions that way as well. So yeah, as I'm sure we're doing a lot to incentivize these new merchants from Europe and the US with extra impressions and even ad credits when they first sign up, and they get really cheap commission revenue share as well. So I'll skip forward here because I think I'm running out of time. So the last part of my presentation is about this online to offline and how we are revitalizing the brick and mortar retail. So, before even COVID hit, local businesses were struggling. Local retail was struggling. I think in the US, about 8,000 different stores would close down every year. And now from COVID, I think it's about 100,000 stores have closed down in the US of brick and mortar retail. And there's a lot of like mom and pop shops, a lot of small independent stores. And, it's hard for them to compete on multiple levels. They have to compete with bigger chains. A company like Walmart has just better data and better relationship with suppliers. So it's hard for them to compete on price. Then they also have to compete with e-commerce. And this is sort of where the idea of the Wish Local program came. Like, we want to use our data to enable independent shop owners to succeed. And the Wish Local program is divided into 3 different sections. It's the Pick Up Now program, the wholesale program, and the product upload solution. So the Pick Up Now program is the first, it's like the bread and butter of the Wish Local solution we have. So as an independent shop owner, you can sign up online to be a Wish Local partner. we send you a box of inventory that is the inventory that is the most popular products sold in your local area. You put these products in your back room in storage. We also give you a free phone with an app on it that has the merchant, the Wish Local Merchant app installed in it, and then you just keep that readily available, and then you wait. And consumers in your area that shop on Wish and shop one of the products that you have in this forward deployed inventory, you will then, these users will see that this product is available for pickup now. So they will see in their phone where to pick up this product. They go down to your store, they show a QR code. You scan the QR code, you go to the back room, find the product, you give the product to the end consumer, and you get paid for every product that someone picks up. But on top of that, there's another valuable asset, and that is that what we see from so far is that on average, people will buy one product from the local store's own inventory on top of the product they bought off of Wish and picked up. So it's a whole new sales channel, and it brings foot traffic into the store and awareness of the store for these merchants. And then of course, during COVID, we extrapolated on this, and we've made it possible for store owners to deliver these products home to people or do contact-free delivery and get paid for that as well. And then the second part of the Wish Local program is the wholesale segment, and that is you have access to our wholesale platform, so you can look at our data, so you can see what's popular to buy in your local community, and then you can stock those products in your shelves using our relationships with Chinese manufacturers. So you can compete now on a whole nother level. You can compete now with the big chain, down the street, or you can even just explore which products are more relevant to even have in your store. We had one case in one of our first Wish Local partners in London. They were a phone repair shop. Now they sell only beauty products, because through our data, they found out, and some trial and error, of course, they found out that it was a better fit for them, and they could make more money by selling beauty products. And then this last part here is the local partner upload. So during COVID, this has been an important feature for our partners, and they can take photos of products they have in their store, upload it directly to Wish, and make it available to anyone to buy in their local community. And they can then deliver that product or make it available for curbside pickup. Okay, I think that's all I have. I hope it wasn't too much crammed in there. If any of you guys are interested in knowing more about these topics, feel free to email me. And if any of you are interested in trying to sell on Wish, please reach out as well. I know I can probably hook you guys up with some good deals on free impressions and free advertising boost dollars and such. So yeah, thank you guys. I can't.
Oh, sorry. I did the old thing of leaving my mute on. Thank you very much. I'm curious, talking about, kind of reaching value conscious customers. So what then do you think would be the main takeaway? If we could summarize what you've said in one point with regards to value conscious customers, what would you say?
It's an enormous part of the US and European population that is value conscious. And it's a segment that is growing. And it's a segment that has been it's been ignored in a large part by a lot of sellers. And I think, outside of the rise of Wish, you look at in the US, I think 8 out of 10 stores that opened last year were dollar stores. So it's all about, value. You see the retail successes in countries like Sweden as well. It's also dollar stores. So this value segment is getting bigger. And I think one outcome out of this COVID crisis as well is that people are going to be even more value conscious and be more conscious of how they spend their hard-earned euros.